only source for all the stuff you care about. I'm Kevin Pr0n, and I care about you.
Yes, you do.
I care about you deeply.
Oh, I care about
Deeply.
you, Kevin.
Yes.
And I'm Candace Bailey. We're coming to you live from the G4 studios in Los Angeles.
Oh my God. On the show, it was like a Street Fighter victory when the character goes into a celebration loop.
They were cheering for my name. I got excited.
Yeah, well, as you should. On the show today, the new face of women's mixed martial arts, Ronda Rousey, will be here live. She's talking about snapping arms and maybe breaking hearts.
Yours?
Maybe, probably, yeah. She'd Kimura my heart. Aww. You would die, actually. It's not that sweet. Then we'll preview the Winter X Games and find out why Shaun White has some serious competition from Switzerland. Apparently, they aren't neutral when it comes to gold medals, so we'll find out.
Plus, Chris Gore heads to the Asian underground and badly injures himself watching City Hunter, Soul Eater, and Ultraman. Trust me, you'll see what I mean later. It's great. And we rate Pioneer's new AirPlay-enabled sound dock in Gadget Pr0n. It has a teeny tiny color screen so you can hear and see your music.
Squint with your favorite tunes. Right now, though, we need some news.
And Sarah Underwood will be playing the role of C-SPAN.
Hey guys, the shutdown of file sharing site Mega Upload is sending shockwaves through the online community. Plus, is Starbucks getting into the booze business?
What?
Oh, yeah.
Are they?
I'll tell you more in the feed.
I like that.
I can't wait.
I like that
I love
idea.
your earrings.
Thank you
Very
very
pretty.
much, Kevin.
Very nice. The whole ensemble. If I may, I'm not done.
Whole ensemble?
Really, just
Yeah.
put yourself
Like
together.
all the
Put yourself together.
Very well put together.
Thank
Hey, Kev.
Oh, yes, casual Candace. I feel like that tone was very, I want to have a casual conversation.
I do.
Yeah. What do you want to chat about?
I just want to chat about the weekend. How was it?
Oh, my weekend was phenom, if I may. I hate to abbreviate the awesomeness
More
that
like
it was.
Phanam.
Pretty good.
Thank you.
I went to NAMM. Not to have a flashback. It's a music convention. It's sort of like the CES or E3 of hearing things. So they've got whole halls of performances and signings, and there's like a aisle dedicated to saxophone technology.
that's
and then you
cool.
turn the corner. Nah, it's not really that cool.
No,
and then
it
you turn the
is.
corner, and then there's less cool instruments like glass flutes. And they're like, okay, get me out of this nerd section. And then you end up to the really cool stuff,
Like the
which
triangle?
is MPCs, triangles. Roland had a big
Great
hall
on the
with a lot
triangle.
of instruments. It's great. There's a whole booth dedicated to conductors' batons. And there are companies,
Really?
there's like crap talking between the companies that make batons.
I make the better baton.
Yeah, all really, really old dudes shouting at each other with different, I use oak in my handle, it's better balanced for my, I'm like, I have no idea, kids don't know what that is. Where's the
It's a
dubstep, old man?
baton.
Yeah, that's
Is
fun.
it? I mean, well,
It was really
that's-
cool. And you hung up on me when I tried to explain you my weekend, which
No,
was
no, no,
very,
no.
very kind.
No, I did not hang up on you.
Candace called me, had a simple question. I answered
first,
it.
First off,
she hangs up.
Don't make me sound like that because I was calling Kevin to warn him to drive safely because my psychic friend had a premonition.
I'm going to let you finish shouting whatever you're shouting at the TV for me about what she just said.
And I was in
Great. So
and I
once
was in
she
the
told me-
Target,
no.
I was in the Target parking garage.
After she tells me Miss Cleo thinks I'm going to die in a
Not
fiery
Cleo.
ball of auto wreck, I go, but
She didn't
thank
think
you
you're
so
gonna
much for
die.
being, before I could finish the sentence, click, hang up, and I'm like,
That
oh,
is
I'll
not
call her
true.
back. I'll call her back. Beep, text message goes off. Sorry, I get no reception here. Followed by like 2 more text messages. That's not how cellular networks work, Candace. You hung up on me and didn't want to finish the rest of the story.
No, that is
That's all
not
it
true,
was.
Kevin. I didn't want to have to go through calling and it cutting out every time, so I thought I would just send you a couple texts. That's all.
What say you, gentlemen? Oh, they agree with me. Sorry, Candace. Well,
Lies.
time now to poke the web with a stick.
Going around the net.
The web. It's just a lover's quarrel. That's it. We like to fight, because the makeup sex is so much hotter. See what I mean? I know, it's going to be a great sesh tonight. Look at the anger in those eyes.
All right. Yeah, okay. There's nothing.
That was the story of my life right there.
There is nothing worse than dropping your keys in the middle of the street.
Oh
Am
my
I
God,
right?
actually there is.
There is?
Wish they would have gone and just grabbed the baby by the ankle and just dragged it across the street. Like, come on, stay in here.
Kevin, no.
Well, not because I wish harm to the baby, just because clearly
Right.
that's the awareness level of those parents.
Oh, okay,
I mean,
okay.
have we stopped to consider that maybe the toddler was actually trying to end it all? We don't know. We don't know what that toddler's life is like.
That's true. We do not know.
Could be all spray tans and tiaras like that. That show. Anybody watch that crap? Because
Do you watch it?
I have.
I've seen like one episode.
The problem is that like I won't go out of my way to tune into something like that. But if there's an entire day marathon of it, I will get nothing done and just watch parents being terrible to their children.
Well,
they treat them like troll dolls.
They
Spray tan,
they
spike
look
the
like
hair.
trolls.
They really do.
That's weird. All that makeup on and.
Yeah, that's
They're
my
like
real
old
gripe with
people,
toddlers and
but little
tiaras is that
old
the kids
people.
aren't hotter.
It's weird. What did you say? And at number 4 is a local ad for a Springfield, Missouri hair salon. And honestly, this sounds like Squaresville to me.
Whoa.
Candace Bailey, you could not be more wrong.
Squares? Really?
No. Like the video background of one of those knockoff Korean karaoke CDs. You know, like the
It does.
like Free Fallin' lyrics should have been scrolling in front of that video,
That's so
and then everything
true.
would have been forgiven. If that's a real salon, it's exactly like the one that I go to be honest. Except
Really?
the one that I go to, the lighting's a little darker, and there are chains on the walls,
What?
and people wear masks, and it's in my basement. But other than that,
Kevin,
pretty close to that dude was very familiar looking.
Are you saying that you cut your own hair?
Yep.
Oh, that's what you're saying. Good to know. And at number 3 today.
Do you want to trim?
No.
Wanna come on down?
I don't want any chains on
No?
walls. I don't want any of that. No, keep it away. And at number 3 today, the film 3 Men and a Baby was a huge hit.
But 3 men in a car, that's a bigger smash.
What?
Que eu falei? A merda. A merda. A merda.
All I needed was a baby in the road.
Evan, what did that have to do with 3 Men and a Baby?
Well, that was Steve Guttenberg and his 2 roommates. That's what that was. Yeah, that wasn't just like random guys on the street.
Oh,
By the way,
I
that's
didn't
the
realize.
most screen time Steve has had in like the last 10 years. So, kudos to Goot.
Yay!
You know?
What's that?
Gotta get him. Well, getting Goot. He's not Beetlejuice. We're not going to summon him. Although he is probably applying for a job across the street at the Starbucks. So maybe we could, if someone wants to go over and tap him and see if he wants to make a cameo. Look it over? No? Okay. Love you, Goot.
And at number 2 today, YouTube songifiers, the Gregory Brothers, returned to ATN.
Ah, yes. If Netflix had a category of just Gutenberg, I would spend so much time there.
Really?
It would take up my entire queue. He's been in so many movies.
He has been
Name
in-
one.
No.
Exactly. Today, they auto-tuned the news, Newt Gingrich style.
You could hire 30-some kids for the price of one janitor. Those kids would get money, cash money, light janitorial duty, get money, work in the cafeteria, cash money, get money, get money, get cash, get money, get money, get cash, get money, all the money, get cash, get cash, money, money, cash, money, money, cash.
That is
I see.
Ron Paul's slow clap is the greatest slow clap you can have.
So that's how he won the South Carolina primary.
Yes, that and deflecting critiques of his personal life with attacks on the media and using charged code words to appeal to the racist base electorate. Plus, people are really fascinated by Newt's head. You know what I mean? It's giant and pillowy. Like, what's it stuff with? Dreams.
Feathers and air. Still ahead, we have liftoff.
Sort of. You'll see what she's talking about in number 1 ATN. I love you, Goot. Do you want to start it?
What?
I mean, I know it already died out, but have you ever led a number 1 chant?
I haven't.
I mean, with a belt that skinny, you can do whatever you want today.
Why, thanks. Can I?
Yeah.
Go for it.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Number 1! Number 1! Number 1! Number 1! Number 1!
You're gonna die.
Yeah! That was great, y'all. Thanks. And at number 1 today, a restored fighter jet takes to the sky.
For about 30 seconds.
Now they can have a restored crane to go with their restored jet fighter.
It does, yeah. It was kind of like Top Gun, except Goose was a crane, right? But not? Too soon?
Too soon.
Needs more Gutenberg. Gutenberg wouldn't have crashed that fighter. Goot would have been flying high. I love that Goot! So good. So good in multiplicity.
It's not good.
No one knows.
It's such a
doesn't matter at
silly
all.
show today. To get your daily viral fix and to check out all the viral videos you have to offer, go to g4tv.com/aroundthenet.
Yes, now the Winter X Games are right around the corner, lurking awkwardly like a predator. But if you think Shaun White is going to win every medal...
looking at me
Huh?
when you say that?
I'm just... Have you been lurked at?
No.
Exactly. That's how good we are. If you think Shaun White is going to win every medal for the first time ever, you might be wrong, silly face.
We will explain in this snowboard edition of Adrenaline Junkies. What are you doing?
I'm
Stop.
lurking.
Adrenaline Junkies.
The Winter X Games are returning to Aspen, Colorado this week, so strap in as we shred through a showcase of this year's best in snowboarding and what we can expect from the sport at this season's games. Get ready, because some smoking super pipe competition is coming your way. Ooh. Last year's reigning champ, Shaun White, will return to Aspen for another balls-out battle down the 567-foot-long feature. But this year, he faces new competition arriving from across the pond. Winter X Games Europe gold medalist Yuri Podlachikov, also known as iPod, holds one of snowboarding's most progressive tricks in his arsenal, the switch backside double cork 1260. Shaun White has yet to master this big air beauty, so if iPod throws it with the style he showed in practice sessions, consider King White dethroned. The Big Air contest is a showdown of height, distance, and style as riders launch themselves over a whopping 80-foot gap, but the real kicker is securing a landing. And the contest's adrenaline ante has been upped after Torstein Horgmo won gold last year by landing the first ever triple cork in a snowboard competition. So expect a battle of the triples this year as Sebastian Toutant and Mark McMorris return to jump the gap. Both young guns mastered triple corks in practice sessions last spring, and you can bet they'll be throwing them for a chance at Big Air gold. Can't choose your adrenaline jolt of choice? Then slopestyle is your main event. Watch a snowboarding's best brave a course of 7 features, pulling in the points with a mix of spins, grabs, grinds, and flips. Riders are judged on their ability to handle some tough terrain with air, style, and variety. Last year's winners showcased the most difficult tricks and smooth landings for a spot on the podium. But this year's slopestyle won't just be a challenge for the riders. The contest is being held at night for the first time ever, and between 100 plus lights and over 330 kilowatts of power,
Lighting the damn thing deserves a medal itself. So fellow junkies, brace yourselves for a heavy dose of raw, heart-pumping adrenaline, and let the games begin.
That's
Checking off a
crazy.
U-Haul.
Have you ever snowboarded?
Have I ever snowboarded?
Yeah.
I wouldn't call falling down the hill getting a concussion snowboarding, but I did have a board strapped to my feet when I got the concussion.
Did you really get a concussion?
Yeah, I'd never really seen snow before, and it was my first time on the slopes, as the kids who do this without getting concussed say. And I took a lesson, and I remember going up on the lift, and I was like, oh, look, the bunny slope. Look at how much fun I'm going to be having on that thing with the other 6-year-olds.
You weren't on that one?
And the guy was like, no. We go up to a double blue diamond or whatever, because the run is longer, so you have more time to learn. Ski patrol.
Is it that bad?
That's how it ended. Yeah, I had a helmet on and everything. It rattled around. It explains a lot.
It does. I've never even done it, so.
No?
You're one more up than
It's okay.
me.
I can
I've skied
ski
once.
because of my aggressive inlining prowess. Ladies. Oh, nobody. Great.
Still ahead, we rate Pioneer's new airplay-enabled sound blocking Gadget Pr0n.
And made a lovely cage fighter, which is, it's an odd sentence to say, but it's true. Ronda Rousey, she's going to be here live to hopefully not punch me in the face.
What happens next?
This Karate Kid wants to be king of the demo. So what happens next? Does he successfully break the board? Does he miss and kick the guy holding the board? Or does he kick the board out of his hand and it hits a lady in the face? Find out when we return.
Let's do it, guys. Get ready to lick it. We're rolling. Rolling. Ready? Lick it, lick it, lick it, lick it, lick it, lick it, lick it.
What happens next?
This Karate Kid wants to be king of the demo. So what happens next? Does he successfully break the board? Does he miss and kick the guy holding the board? Or does he kick the board out of his hand and it hits a lady in the face? At this rate, the black eye belt will be his in no time.
What did you want to say to them?
Hey!
Hey! All right. Oh, someone tagged our Twitter wall.
Oh, our Twitter wall.
The youth. I was going to say something else, but it's okay.
Ryan Palm, I wonder why AOTS doesn't have its own cologne. That would be sweet. No.
Oh, what we had?
It would smell like sweat and like burnt plastic and
Burnt plastic?
I don't know. That's what all the
Is
plastics
that what you think the
remind me
studio
of.
smells like?
No, it actually doesn't smell bad, but
We had
burnt
Sex
plastic.
Tornado was the cologne for a while. I mean, that was more mine, but remember Sex Tornado? No. Yeah, it attracted all the neighborhood cats. It was burnt hair and salmon.
Ew.
With
really?
citrus overtones.
Did y'all really make that?
No.
Of course not.
No, we didn't.
KCL 430, Kevin, can you teach me the proper technique of lurking?
Ooh. Yeah, I guess I can. It's kind of like the Matrix, though, because once you're aware of like proper lurking techniques, then you just become that guy.
Teach us.
Yeah. Well, are we about to do the feed? Is that what's going to happen? Yeah. All right.
So
Then
you'll show
I'll
us?
just lurk through the entire feed. I feel like that's the way to
teach
do
me.
it, right?
I wanna learn.
Yeah, you'll learn very quickly.
All right, if you want to be a part of the show and end up on our Twitter wall, tweet us at AOTS or use the hashtag AOTS.
Time to sit back, relax, and get your lurk on.
Sarah Underwood, take it away.
Thanks, guys. Right now, it's time to start the feed. Oh, Lord.
All the news you need to know.
Feed.
It's Monday, January 23rd, and here are your top stories. Last week, the founder of Mega Upload was arrested in New Zealand for charges that his file-sharing site was behind a lot of piracy. And some interesting details have emerged on the man behind the name, Kim.com. Authorities say the 6-foot, 6-inch, 300-pound man born Kim Schmitz has banked over $175 million from illegal sharing on the site. The raid on his $30 million New Zealand mansion was conducted in the middle of his 38th birthday celebration, and authorities say they found him barricaded up in a high-security panic room attached to his bedroom with a sawed-off shotgun. The seized assets include millions of dollars in cash, a helicopter, a 1959 pink Cadillac convertible, and a fleet of Mercedes-Benzes. And a fun fact, turns out Mr. .com was the #1 ranked killer on Modern Warfare 3 with over 181,000 total kills. That's so cool. But I don't think good old Kimball will be putting a controller in his hands anytime soon. So that sucks. Meanwhile, the internet is... That doesn't even look right. Meanwhile, the internet is feeling the effects of the high-profile raid. Several other file-sharing sites have suspended their services or changed the way they operate. Both FileServe and FileSonic are now only allowing users to download files they themselves have uploaded. Users have also reported mass deletion of their files and accounts, and other services are banning US-based IP addresses in an attempt to distance themselves from American legal jurisdiction. Looks like we might have to go old school pretty soon and dust off some zip disks. Thanks, MPAA. How do you keep coming up with these spots? Okay, deals are already being made at the Sundance Film Festival, and the latest one will definitely be of interest to gamers, you guys. HBO has acquired the remake rights to Indie Game the Movie and plans on turning the documentary about indie game designers into a half-hour comedy. The doc focuses on the struggles of several young indie game creators, including the folks behind Super Meat Boy and Braid. No word yet on when the series pilot will be shot. Where is he now? Scared the crap out of me. I had no idea you were there. No. Oh my god. That scared the Well done. Oh my gosh. No word yet on when the series pilot will be shot, but we're guessing they'll pitch it as Entourage for the Angry Birds generation. Now, have you ever wished you could get your drink on at Starbucks? Yeah. Well, you're in luck. Reuters is reporting that by the end of 2012, the King of Fancy Coffee franchises will begin selling beer and wine at a small number of cafes in the Atlanta and Southern California areas. But if you can't wait and have money for a plane ticket, booze is already available at 5 shops in the Seattle area, as well as one in my hometown, Portland, Oregon. You know what? If they start serving cocktails at G4's local Starbucks, our Around the Net meetings are going to get a whole lot drunker. Yeah!
Strong.
And finally, some breaking news. A tweet from Epic Games designer Cliffy B just before the show hints at a juicy rumor. The developers behind Batman Arkham City are setting their sights on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yup, supposedly Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Manhattan Crisis will feature the pizza-eating reptile quartet as playable characters in an open-world RPG for the Wii, PS3, and 360. Of course, it's just a rumor and hasn't been confirmed by Rocksteady, but in the words of Cliffy B, please be true. I'm Sarah Underwood, and you've just been fed. Now back over to Kevin and Ken. Somebody farted? What?
I think she did, yeah.
No, I was
Candace,
hot. I did not too. I was hot. I was going like this. It's really hot in here. This week, Chris Gore went to the Asian Underground and came back hurt.
Oh.
It's true.
Well, let's just say that.
No reaction?
Well, here's the thing. It's Chris Gore first. Secondly, while he was covering some ass-kicking films, he may have kicked his own ass.
Chris Gore here at Spin Fusion in Los Angeles, where I come to find the latest and greatest in DVDs. On this edition of Asian Underground, prepare to have wisdom knocked into your brain with a high kick. And a high kick. Ow, my jeans. Here to help me with everything but high kicks is our very own Asian cinema expert, Jeff Wong. Now, Jeff, today we're talking about popular TV series from the Far East, starting with City Hunter. Tell me what the story is.
Well, City Hunter follows sort of a revenge story where this kid whose father was sort of assassinated as part of a government cover-up conspiracy grows up as this soldier to where his mission is to infiltrate the Blue House and find all these government officials who plotted the assassination of his father.
Okay, so it's just like Boardwalk Empire, but it's set in Korea, right?
No, actually, it's nothing like Boardwalk Empire. You got to think of it more as something like 24 or something like The Bourne Identity if it were a long TV show. However, it is a Korean drama, and you kind of get your soap opera fix while you're getting your spy thriller.
You know I love anime, Jeff, but Soul Eater looks like this brutal, violent cartoon that's definitely not for kids.
Well, Soul Eater follows the exploits of these two students who study at the Grim Reaper's Academy for sort of demon hunting. It does have elements for kids in it where these kids are students and they're trying to learn how to defeat demons, but it also has the elements of horror strewn through it because, well, they are in fact hunting demons.
That's what's strange about Soul Eater is it has this delightful, colorful cartoon characters and look that's for kids, yet it's got this brutal digital blood splattering everything.
Anime is never afraid to try anything. With this one in particular, the cheapest way to make it is to integrate digital imagery into it. So you do have hand-drawn characters mixed with CG effects, and it's the quickest way they can get these series out.
I can't pull the trigger on him.
Okay, now we have Ultraman, the complete series. I loved this show as a kid. What's in this box set?
Well, this box set is just that, the complete series. It has the entire series that ran from 1966 through 1967, follows the exploits of the pilot Hayata, who was a member of the Science Patrol, and after crashing his spaceship into the Ultraman, he gets the mantle of Ultraman and has to save the Earth from, well, giant monsters.
Now, what's funny about Ultraman is he's like a character that's the worst commercial for solar power ever. I mean, every time he'd turn into Ultraman, he'd have maybe 5 minutes to fight the monster, but that's it, out of power.
But what I think was actually great about that is if he only has 3 minutes to do it, he has to sort of time it right because he's going to run out of energy. The show also gave him a weakness that his energy was limited throughout the series, and it sort of ended with Ultraman kind of running out of energy and maybe not returning ever.
Thanks again, Jeff, for your gifts from the Far East. Yet again, you saved the day. Jeff and I will be back again on the next edition of Asian Underground.
Yep.
Thanks, Chris. I hope you and your jeans recover soon.
Can we just, in case you missed the majesty, can we just play it 1 or 12 more times, please?
Prepare to have wisdom knocked into your brain with a high kick. I mean, a high kick.
You could tell he fell out his mic pack, so that's what really hurt him. Poor thing.
Yeah.
Who's ready for a dance party?
No. Look at her. Look at it. Just look at it.
Magic. It just appeared. The Pioneer
Actually, no, it was behind the screen here, and I picked it up and put. Okay.
That's what's up, everybody.
Sorry, Tom.
The Pioneer Music Tab Elite promises a seamless way to listen to music with support for Apple's AirPlay and DLNA networking and Bluetooth, but it's going to set you back about 379 buckaroos.
Yeah. Normally we save the price for some mysterious television reason.
We did it first off.
But this price point is important to note because it does put it a bit above the sort of mid-range iPod dock category, where your plasticky kind of iHome things are there. Look, the design might be great for you. You know, if you traveled here from the year 1989, or if your shoes still have Velcro, yes, this is the thing for you. There's even a digital clock on this. Did you see this? I mean, get a real nice height on that. I mean, this is the kind of display you'd see like a clock at a Hampton Inn, Hampton Suites. You know what I mean?
That's not the right time.
As a Holiday Inn, doesn't matter. And the AM.
Yeah.
So yeah, not an accurate time set, but they really want you to know if it's the morning or the night, man, because the parties get out of control with this thing. You need to know. Guys, it's 6:30. AM or PM? Giant display lets you know. You can physically dock your iPod or your iPhone. It's got a little slide-out thing here. You can do that just there. There are function buttons on the top that are totally redundant, like the function button that lets you change the input, but they also included 2 other shortcuts to both Bluetooth or Air Jam, which isn't a prequel to Space Jam. I got so excited. I thought maybe MJ was back.
You want to know what Air Jam is?
I'd love to know what Air Jam is. Sounds delicious.
Oh.
Just spread it on some toast.
No. Air Jam is Pioneer's own app that lets you connect up to 4 different iOS devices where you can create party playlists, which is cool, but usually the more features we see crammed into docks, the more difficult they are to set up.
Speaking of, that would be an understatement. To say this thing was difficult to set up, huge understatement. Everything is essentially done from the remote and the display.
Look at that.
So here's the thing. Well, 2.5-inch full-color display, which is nice on a sound dock. You don't normally get that. But what a waste of color to display menus that are so convoluted they hurt my brain.
It's so weird.
For instance, let's say you want to change the network connection, right? Let's say you're going from a wired to a wireless connection. Well, you got to jump into that menu there, then you got to select networking, and then you change something, and then, wait for it, you get to reboot the device. And it's one of the slowest devices we've ever seen from off to on. Here's a spoiler. You can almost count to 30 twice. Twice! Who needs to do that? I'm trying to get my party on, kids. Part of what made it take so long is the unresponsive 36-button remote. The enter button would only register every 4th or 5th press. Not sure if that was a feature. I'm doubting it. But there you have it.
All right, this is the Elite model of the
right
Music
there.
Tap.
Yeah.
Elite.
That's a serif font, guys. That's a bold design choice. I don't know if you see that.
Now, it means that it has Bluetooth. Was that something you're going to want to spend the extra money on?
I think so. The Bluetooth was actually the easiest function to set up. We tried pairing multiple iPhones to it. Every time, first time, it worked. We were just able to connect, so that was good.
All right, most important question. Once it's set up, how good does it sound?
Yeah, well, actually it sounds pretty good. We'll give it that. There are twin 20-watt speakers in this thing. Sound reproduction better than expected. The distance between the speakers is actually really nice because it gives you a good stereo separation. It really feels like a dedicated left and right channel. Further away, the unit, the sound quality is still good. Still pretty good. We did find that the sound would distort, though, especially when, like, this thing goes up to 50.
Yeah.
So forget turning it up to 11, kids. The arbitrary number to measure volume on this is 50.
50. That's a big number.
But any time over 36, and it's going to sound like a robot caught in a garbage disposal.
Oh, okay.
Overall, we found the sound to be good enough to fill large rooms with sound, assuming your room isn't a bit bigger than, like, a 36.
Okay, the Pioneer...
What do you think this is here? You think it's about a 43? It's probably about a 44 jobber. No big deal.
The Pioneer Music Tap Elite can be yours on Amazon.com for $379, full $110 more than the Music Tap. Now, the only difference between the two is Bluetooth. So at that price, what are we rating?
And this sweet serifed label. It'll rub off. 2 out of 5. The sound is, here's the thing, the sound is good for the price range, but the menu, the difficulty of setup, the long warm-up time and boot-up time, it holds it back from being something we could recommend. However, the Music Tap system that you just mentioned without Bluetooth, much better value, $110 cheaper. If you're considering it, that's probably the one to go with.
All right. Well, that's it for today's Gadget Pr0n. But if you have a gadget you'd like to see us rate, email us at gadgetpr0n@g4tv.com. Hey, Kevin.
Yes, Candace.
What's better than one badass vampire hunter?
2 badass vampire hunters, of course. Don't be totes silly. On an all-new episode of Marvel Anime Blade, he's going to team up with a lady named Makoto to, guess what, hunt vampires! Oh, that was a safe bet.
Marvel Anime Blade airs Friday nights at 11 p.m. For photos and videos and more stuff, go to g4tv.com/Marvel.
I thought for sure they would scrapbook. Nope, kill vampires.
Stay tuned. Former Olympic medalist turned cage fighter Ronda Rousey will be here live.
I'm only slightly terrified, by the way.
Only slightly? You're right.
Hey, my next guest is a professional arm snapper. How about that? Please welcome Ronda Rousey, everybody. I'm all torn asunder because I know where this segment ends. I'm staring at a crash mat right now, and it's laughing at me because I'm made of porcelain and sadness.
And it's a thin one too.
But we'll get into that. Yeah, we'll get into that in a second. I want to talk about your big fight coming up. What are you? First of all, what are you doing on a live television show talking about this? Shouldn't you be punching things and screaming like mad in a gym?
I was already punching things this morning.
Okay, good.
Yes, I fit this in between, so we fit it in the schedule between punching stuff. And no, it's just stuff that you got to do. You know, I have to kind of schedule all the media stuff around all the training. You know, it's necessary for the fight, and it's part of the job.
And Misha Tate?
If you pronounced it wrong, I would have loved that, but you actually pronounced it right.
Oh, yeah. Well, Misha Tate is in for a real rude awakening because when I scroll your Wikipedia, it looks like someone got lazy and just copy and pasted win, armbar, technical submission, parentheses, armbar. You like snapping arms.
Well, my mom likes snapping arms, actually.
So it runs in the family.
Yeah. She taught me to armbar things instead of giving me Barbies. So
such a better choice.
Yeah, in the long run it was. At the time I was like, I want Barbies, but now I'm just like, you know what?
You don't want Barbies, you want Ken's arm to be snapped in half.
Yeah.
You kick him out of the Malibu beach house, make him cry.
Well, I saw on Twitter that you said you could armbar me, so.
I was vague. I said that I would submit you within 2 minutes of the interview, and so I've already lost, I think. So I'm already done. But no, I mean, your highlights are incredible. You'd think that your opponents must know that this is coming, right?
But there's nothing they could do about it.
There's gotta be. There's gotta be. And to prove that you are the, as you say, the most dangerous woman in the world or in the country, or how do you?
I think I'm the most dangerous unarmed woman on the planet.
Okay.
Like, literally, I could kill every single person in this room with my bare hands if I had them one at a time. I wouldn't do that, but I'm just saying.
To be fair,
I could do it.
this room in particular, if you combined all our strength, it would be like a part-time employee at the Geek Squad. It's really not that. It's picking on sickly children, but that is fair. But to prove how amazing you are actually going to beat up a cyborg, I was told.
I was until she got popped for steroids. Big surprise.
Yeah, what happened with that? Cyborg is she the #1 ranked right now, or
she was at 135
but now there's a big
until she got she got stripped of her title and everything like that, and deservingly so. You know, don't cheat.
Yeah, absolutely. And you called her out. I love the Twitter battle you guys had. Can you walk us for those who don't know, walk them through that tale?
I wouldn't have said anything if she hadn't insulted my girl Gina, which you've had on here before.
Mm-hmm.
She put up a thing on here on her Twitter, and it was like a Photoshop picture of Gina after they fought. You know, with I'm sure this is the first time. This is not the first time Cyborg has used Photoshop, but she photoshopped
she uses
her
the
face.
nudge tool or the healing brush to
the shrink tool
to hide any awkward bulges in the ring. I got it.
Exactly like that. And yeah, she put next victim Ronda, which I would have expected that. I wouldn't have said anything unless she put a picture of Gina on there. And I was like, you know what? No one would know who you are if it wasn't for Gina. You know, if you hadn't beaten her, no one would know who you are. If you weren't doping, you wouldn't have beaten her. And she was nice to her about that. She didn't say anything like really bad about her doping. And I was just pissed off. I was like, you know what? You don't just have a for posting that picture of Gina, you cheater. And you know what? Someone needed to say it because Gina's just too nice. So I'm fine with being the mean one. And that's low. And plus, you can't intimidate someone with a photoshopped picture. I was like, oh yeah, I could beat you up like that, even though I couldn't beat up that chick like that. Like, I could show you a non-photoshopped picture of a girl's elbow looking like a flamingo knee. That's a lot more intimidating than that one.
I love it. I have tried to Photoshop myself to make myself look more intimidating. You're right. It doesn't work. It doesn't work at all. The background's all bulgy behind me. I'm not very good at it. It's not really good. People are like, what are you now? You Photoshopped it. You look like you're 112 pounds. That's cute. Do you ever get in fights outside of the ring? I
have, but they're not usually worth it. I got jumped by a bunch of guys in a movie theater, and they sued me for assault.
What?
Yeah. Because
this is like an assigned seating thing at the ArcLight? Because I know those movie nerds can get crazy.
No, it was some random movie theater. We were watching Juno. You know.
Okay.
Who feels violent in Juno? And,
it's a real rough crowd.
It was like a bad group of people in the theater that's like shouting obscene things and just being like
at
jerks.
Juno?
Yes.
Okay.
Like, you know, like Jennifer Garner comes on, oh, I do her, oh, she's hot.
Yeah.
You know, that
I got stabbed at failure to launch, so I get it. Yeah. It was really.
So this girl was wearing the mini skirt with Ugg boots, which I already can't stand that whole look.
Did you break her leg?
Wait. So she put her little Uggs up on my seat and was like nudging my head with it. And I'm like, you know what? This is a good movie. I'm going to wait for this movie to end, and then I'm going to take this girl's boot off, and I'm going to throw it, and I'm going to tell her to ask her mother to get some manners. So I did that, and then there was like 4 couples or something like that. So all the guys cut me off in the aisle, and they were like, go get her boot. Da, da, da. And
standing up for their woman.
Yeah,
okay.
And I happened to look like a girl that day. So they didn't know what was happening. And so I tried to get past, and they pushed me, and the one guy pushed me back, and I started punching him, and his friend came around, grabbing a head through him, and all this stuff. And it's a funny thing, I was wearing flip-flops through all this, and I lost my shoe in the middle of the fight, which I thought that was kind of ironic, that everyone was just losing shoes.
Right.
And
but no one chucked your flip-flop across the
no,
theater.
No. It came off during a maneuver. And,
so speaking of, let's say I'm the guy in the theater now. I'm kicking the seat. What are you going to do, pretty lady? What are you going to do, lady face?
Well, you want haven't seen it in a minute.
No, I really don't want to see. Let's do it though.
You ready?
Because you've been hip tossing idiots like me for a long while. But what is the secret to a quality throw?
Leverage. And I'm not that big. He's just a little man. Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm incredibly tiny. We've established that. I am Seacrest light.
Relax.
Let's go.
The more you
I see what you're doing there. I got
it's gonna hurt. You
okay.
ready?
I've said that 1,000 times.
Okay.
Yep. I'm just. Whoa.
Are you okay?
I'm great. Thanks to Ronda Rousey. Is she still here? Hey. No, that was awesome. Thank you so much. Great. Ronda Rousey, everybody. She fights in the Strikeforce Women's Bantamweight title on March 3rd. Do not put your feet on her theater seat. The mini surge of adrenaline is worn off, and I feel like Chris Gore in a DVD shop right now. My spine's over here. It's fine. We're all friends. Still ahead, more Attack of the Show. Please don't hurt me.
Learning Scottish. Maybe you should get to your hometown Europe. Oh, aye, you're just trying taking more things you rocket. You're so good at it.
Coming up tomorrow on an all-new Attack of the Show. Chris Gore swings by to review boxing robot flick Real Steel and dark comedy 50-50. Then we take a look at shirtpunch.com and Tokyo 5 denim in threads. And we'll experience the latest in audio bliss when we check out NAMM, the CES of music gear. See it tomorrow.
Hey, real quick, me time. Why not? Leadup.com, LEETUP.com. It just launched today, and it is, has all the info for an event that I am throwing on March 1st at Club Nokia here in Los Angeles.
Yeah!
It is a lot of things, but just know this. It is a giant flippin' party for nerds. So we're going to have music, podcasts, games, giveaways, all sorts of technology. It's going to be several hours long. It's going to be very loud, but it should be a damn fun night for all nerds around. So we're going to get about 2,000 people out there to Club Nokia March 1st. So leadup.com, check it out.
Now.
Candace is going to be there.
I am going to be there.
Great.
I just realized this.
Many thanks to our guests, Ronda Rousey, Sarah Underwood, and Chris Gore, because